Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be looking at some AFK companions and overall going through what are the differences, what are the similarities that we're seeing within the game itself. And of course, we did look at the Halloween event. It is the same event on both sides of this game, but it does have a couple variations, including the skin, and also it doesn't have the awakened version of Thorin. So when we start thinking of the game itself, the first thing that comes out is really looking at the roster. When we start looking at AFK companions, we are super limited in the heroes we get and the heroes that we have over here. Even thinking of AFK Arena in general, we have about 160 plus characters, I believe, at this point. In here, it is pretty limited, and some of the heroes are over here, some are not. It almost seems like, and a lot of players have kind of referred to it as almost like a classic or a vanilla AFK Arena, because again, it is very limited to the heroes that we're seeing over here. A couple questions that we have, and I'm going to go through again the questions that I'm getting. Number one is, how often are they going to release heroes? That, of course, is a question mark, just like a lot of these are going to be kind of the wait and see scenario. What is going to be the regular release schedule? Is it going to be every 2 weeks like AFK Arena? Is it going to be more AFK releasing once a month? What is it going to look like when it comes to the overall dropping of the heroes themselves? Now, the other big thing over here is the awakened heroes. So we do have the awakened version of Solus that is over here. That is the first, and that is the only awakened, which I don't even see her here. But that is the first, and that is the only awakened hero that we have right now, is that awakened version of Solus. Now, of course, one of the difficulties looking at AFK Arena, the classic or the vanilla or whatever you want to call it now, I'm going to go with classic. Let's say the classic AFK Arena. One of the sticking points that we always had was the awakened heroes, the difficulty of getting time emblems, doing all the summons in here. And again, over here, it is a very, very different feel in how you get the heroes. Once you get to 5 Ascended Wilders, they give you the awakened hero. That's right. They give you the awakened hero on this side. You don't have to worry about the new system. You don't have to worry about going in there and doing all of those summons with the time emblems. It is given to you at that point. Now, also a couple other changes that I want to cover. Number one, the campaign. You can see the basic campaign like we see here, very, very similar to what we've traditionally seen. This is a regular campaign stage that, again, we've kind of seen on a regular basis. I've actually been doing the 5 pulls, so it's been kind of cool to see. And again, thinking of the nostalgia aspect from the classic version, pretty cool to see how it's kind of built in here. And I feel like a lot of players are feeling the nostalgia of this game, running, the 5 pull, running Chimera, running a couple other heroes that we've seen. I think this one's going to be a defeat. But overall, we have this, and this, of course, is a big impact. Different rates, more gold. You can see we've always been out of gold. And we also do have the forked fates in the campaign. Now, this essentially is the hard version or the hard mode of AFK companions. This is a lot more difficult. There are requirements that you do have to meet right here. No more than 2 allies' death. If more than 2 allies die, you do not complete the stage. You have to restart it. So again, it seems like this is going to be a lot more of the strategy side, but I'm sure you can go ahead and over level it or overbuild the heroes themselves. As you can see, we already have 3 legendary. We have 2 legendary plus 1 legendary. So the heroes themselves are making the same changes, making the same differences, but you're still missing so many heroes within here. Now, of course, when you think of the EXP gain, so we're still at the wall. So when we start thinking of a lot of these heroes, when it comes to the dust wall, this is still the absolute sticking point. Everything else we've kind of been generating. We've been doing incredibly well. When it comes to even the experience itself, we have been getting a lot of the hero experience, which again was a big sticking point with AFK Arena, the classic version, and we have seen it. Now, you'll also notice when it comes to our rewards, we have a multitude of chests that kind of come due at a certain amount of time. They give us a ton of summons. There are the fast rewards like we've seen before. So a couple things that do kind of remain same when it comes to the campaign, when it comes to the progression in the campaign, yet there are a couple things that are incredibly different. Now, the rewards mechanic is another one. When it comes to rewards, we are getting a lot more rewards. We're seeing a lot more summons. And of course, you can see all of the things that are in here. We have the reunion, getting all the heroes. They are giving us every single hero through essentially the claim. But going through here and making progression, they're giving you copies of every single hero. We have 6 of 50 heroes as it sits right now. You can see even a free hero right here, which is Taylene in 1310. So as we push through here, as we continue to make more progression in the game, they are giving us all of the heroes for free. You are getting all of them. And even looking at the skins that they have, we've already gotten the Rowan skin. This is coming from Flora. So again, they're giving us a lot of the skins free. It seems like for some parts, I guess, is not so much of the pay to win part. Again, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like in the future. And another big question mark is, what is the fate? What is the future? What is going to happen with AFK Arena? That again is something we're going to have to wait and see. Now, hiring mechanics, and when you do build out and get these heroes. So of course, when it comes to the collaboration of going in the friends list, hitting up the garrison and actually garrison all of the different heroes, this is the way that the game really does differ. And when it comes to the companions, this is the game where you can go and travel through the game with a companion, similar to a mentor, but it's not you're the mentor, you have a mentee, or a tutor or a student, whatever you want to call it. It is 2 players that are actually duo co-op players that are going through a lot of content, which is awesome. It's pretty impressive to see how they do this, how the heroes, like even here with the heroes, is I can set what heroes I want to be able to essentially lend to the person who is in the co-op. They can put out a wish list of the heroes they do want to see, but I can go in here and I can go ahead, lent out, and there we go. So these are the heroes that he has availability to. So if he wants to go in there, if he wants to use the 5-pole, Erase can use that in the entirety. It's really cool how this part is built. You can see there are a bunch of different things in comparison to where we are. So trying to kind of stay together, trying to make progression together, and it really builds the ability for both players to go through and go ahead and build this out in the entirety and actually play the game together. That is huge. Some of the other variants and some of the other differences, the resonating crystal. So a lot of players had this question when we did the live stream. So we have 5 heroes. You can see they're all level 120 right up on top. Being at level 120, every single hero that I have, every single hero we get into the future automatically goes right here into the wish list itself or into the resonating crystal itself. Within the resonating crystal, again, every hero you build is going to be in here. You don't need slots. We know for a long time in AFK Arena in the classic version, getting slots within the resonating crystal were incredibly difficult. And if you wanted to level up other heroes, you had to remove them. You had to use diamonds. You had to swap the heroes out of there. This alleviated that pain point, that sticking point in the entirety with all of the heroes and every single hero, even down here with our rare heroes already being at level 120. So if I want to use anyone, if I want to change up the formations, you still do have to change up the gear within those heroes themselves. But if a formation is not working and I want to use a different formation, I can go ahead and I can swap those out. Now there's COVID-20. You can see, I can see the formations they're using, even seeing the beasts that they're using. You'll notice the spirit orb. There are new beasts in the companion version versus the regular, the classic version. And you can see he's doing incredibly well in here. Looks like Laika and Misha are absolutely crushing it. And if you're new to the game, definitely going in here and building out Wilders, because we have that Awakened Wilder, you want to build them out first. Now, when we were talking about the Beast Grounds, this is another part that is really big. So when it comes to the beast itself, you just capture the beast. There's no longer getting all of the baits, summoning up the beast, and making sure that you're leveling up the beast, which again, takes an incredible amount of time. They took a lot of things within AFK Arena that took a lot of time, that were a really big sticking point, that were difficult, really hurdles for players to make progression in the game that made it a lot more difficult. And they have eliminated them in this version of AFK Arena, which again is pretty cool to see how they did it and how it looks and how it works. Now, of course, you have the Destiny summon. This is the same thing kind of as getting your desired hero summons. Stargazer, I'm not there. I'm pretty close already to getting in there to do some Stargazers. But the other big thing in here is the guild aspect. The hero stars we haven't gotten into. There's a couple players that have the hero stars. But when you look at the guild aspect, now this is, again, the point of AFK Arena, of the classic version, that they've needed to change for about the 3 or 4 years that I've been talking about it. So they went in here and they made the guild hunting. You can see, congratulations, your guild challenge progression has been reached. We got some more resources out of there. Challenges today, 12. You can see there are players popping up right there, Saint, that are fighting this boss. Now we can go in here, we can appoint a player, which I'm going to pick somebody. You can see they have a bunch of heroes in here. So if you are newer to the game, you might not have the strongest heroes, but you can borrow heroes, which again is very, very cool to see, as we can go ahead and we can appoint somebody in here. Let's even appoint right here, looking at the heroes that are available. We can appoint this as our hunting blade. With the hunting blade in there, you can use the heroes that the hunting blade does have. It's cool. It's a really cool aspect. And of course, they stack the rewards in here. You can see our guild rewards. So quite a few guild rewards for different phases. Also have the personal rewards in here. There's a boost that the guild master can do. There's also different bosses, which is awesome. And you can summon allies if you want to go ahead and run through the guild and channel list. There are a lot of things, again, that you can do in here that I haven't seen and I've always wanted in the classic version, but unfortunately we don't have. Now you'll also notice Guild Store Level 2, Guild Hunting Phase 3. There's a Hall of Honor. There's also a Guild Scramble, which this almost looks like what we have on the other game, or the classic version with, and I'm drawing a blank on the name of exactly what it is, but I want to see if this is different. I don't remember it over on beta. And then of course the expedition, as we continue to level up, you do get rewards out of here as the guild goes and levels up higher and higher. So essentially you're creating a massive, massive guild network of players that want to play together, that love to play together, that enjoy the game, that can be active in the game. And of course, it's going to make a big difference when it comes to actively managing the guild. So if guildies are offline for 2 days, it's going to be a removal because we only have so many slots in here. And I know D2, I'm going to get him in here a little bit today. But if and when players are not present into AFK Arena, it's really going to be worth it to remove them because of the guild hunt and the collaboration that you do have to have in here, which is pretty cool. Free to play, pay to win, whatever it is, guys, you can absolutely do it with this game. PvP is another spot that is very different. So this, of course, was a big sticking point for a ton of different heroes. Even looking in here, we have the ability to challenge different players. There are different buffs or different debuffs, kind of different setups with where players are and how they're fighting. You can see where we're at. I want to go ahead and I want to change this formation up a little bit. I don't even know when we actually set this one, but it's been a little while. But we'll drop Rowan up front. We'll do the 5-pull. Even looking at a beast, you can see we have a bunch of different beasts in here. You know what? I'm going to put in the Shroom Spooter, and we haven't even got into how you can build out beasts. There's a ton of different things. There's also a ton of different maps in here as you're making more progression in here. So let's go ahead. Let's fight a new player. Again, the formation here is 3 forward, 2 back. So again, a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. Also the energy disintegration, as you can see right there in the top. This is the buff that you get from the snowfield. We can hop in here. We can do a lot of the PvP aspect in here. And it's cool. It's very cool how they did this, how it works. And of course, you pick up some gladiator coins. You also pick up diamonds. This is probably one of the absolute best places that you've been able to farm diamonds. So again, if you're newer to AFK Companions, definitely farming up diamonds out of here on a regular basis. Reach the top 500 for the first time to get Chrono Summon tickets. So these tickets are actually tickets that you can use to summon up specific heroes. So you can go in and you can do and build your own heroes. You can summon based on what you have. You can summon your own heroes. Again, it's taking a lot of the sticking points that we have seen in AFK Arena and changing it. Now, as I've been unlocking this, Art of Conquest, I'm going to go through later. I don't know if the Peaks of Time are the classic quests. I know they do have new names in here, but I'm going to have to see if these are the classic quests, if they are, and they do remain the same. But I also unlocked Forest Mania and the Shadow Evasion. So again, some of the new things or some of the old things that they're bringing over here for new players to experience. The Labyrinth, of course, under future development. We have the Voyage of Wonder. Nothing's up right now. Even the Dream Realm. So the Dream Realm, you can go in here and fight multiple times, and you can actually kill the boss within the Dream Realm. So it's a pretty interesting twist on how the bosses work. It's not how much damage you do. You can see the HP bar going down right here. Once we take the hero out from the Dream Realm, it does give us more loot when we're taking out the boss. There we go. New record, floor number 4. So we are going floor by floor. That did give us right here 3 common scrolls. Then it brings the boss back right there, currently ranked number 40. We have one more challenge attempt. Let's go ahead and burn this one. And again, the small differences that we're seeing with some of the content, the small differences that we're seeing really with some of the gameplay, it's going to be a question of what comes in the future, what it looks like. Again, where are heroes going to play? Are they going to play? What's it going to look like? There's a lot of things that are different in this game. Is it enough to bring new players back? Is it going to have a lot of new faces or returning players that we see? Only time will tell. That's really all that we can say here. Is as many things as, you know, it feels very similar and very, again, kind of a classic that we see for AFK Arena. There are very strong differences in here when it comes to even the summons, when it comes to the lineup of heroes. Again, only time will tell exactly what it looks like, how it looks, how successful this game is. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.